Alright, what is poppin', people? You got J Bear here, bringing you all my BBR Week 2 game going up against Amel. Before I unveil my team and start talking about the matchup, I've got a few things to shout. First of all, we did team building with Zooch this week. I don't know when exactly Zooch plans on uploading, probably in the coming days. You'll get a bit of a little insight into the team builder aspect for this. And a lot of the details of the team are going to be found in that video. I don't know if he's going to go over the small changes that I made throughout the week when mocking, but I did all of that with him as well. And also a VOD review of that will be on his channel after, where he analyzes the matchup. So that'll be a super awesome thing to check out once that is uploaded. I'll probably make a community post. But Zooch is a great guy, and I encourage you all to watch that, as not often do you get to see someone go through the entire process of building their team. And then next up, I encourage you all to like, comment, subscribe. We're so close to 1,000 here. BBR is a great league, and I hope you guys all enjoy watching it and watching me play, and especially if you're coming from the SPL side of things where I'm doing analyst work. Hopefully you can enjoy watching me play and maybe learn a thing or two in the actual gameplay analysis that I do. But yeah, with all that being said, let's go ahead and analyze our matchup versus Amel. Amel's obviously a great friend of mine. We have an interview with Amel actually going over his season before the SPL started, so great guy to check out if you want to learn a little bit more about how he thinks about Pokemon, because one of the most unique Pokemon thinkers I think I have ever had the chance to speak to. So, analyzing his team, it's actually super interesting, starting off with Tera Chi-Yu. Scary fucking threat, man. It's got access to Tera, which means it, in my opinion, has a couple of viable types. The main three are Poison, Grass, and Electric. And of those, I think Electric is the best. What do those three types do? They hit Primarina for super effective damage. I think he has 3 item choices, maybe 4. Scarf, Specs, Boots, Eject Pack. Of those, I'm most worried about Scarf and Specs. I think those items are super threatening. Roaring Moon as well for the Dark Spam, when I have to designate my Primarina super specially defensive, puts a little bit of pressure on the rest of my team. Pecharunt, I actually think I have a decent matchup into between Great Tusk and Overqwil, but that thing is known for winning matchups. It has no business of winning. So it'll be interesting if he decides to bring it versus not. I'm leaning towards no, but Amel is the Pecharunt guy, so I would not rule it out. Tinkaton, super scary as well, just as a utility piece, but I actually think my Tinkaton matchup is okay. Obviously, does not really enjoy fighting Great Tusk. Manaphy is another scary one, just like a Take Heart or Tailglow set. My grass type is Blossom, which, you know, sometimes you want to check Manaphy with your grass type, not going to really happen here. Jolteon, however, can probably get through that. And Tera Porygon 2 is super interesting. I think the Chi-Yu is forced to Tera, but there are some types on Porygon 2 that could be annoying, like Ghost or something like that, to really help with Great Tusk. And Cresselia, I think, is also super interesting here for like Lunar Dance shenanigans. And just like being an overall bulky nuisance. Galarian Zapdos is a bit of a struggle for me. It walls Great Tusk stabs, and you'll see we actually do have a Great Tusk that is walled by Galarian Zapdos. But I think the build can support that. Leavanny is annoying for webs. I don't think it ever comes here between Cinderace and Great Tusk. And then Rhyperior is his ground type, which could potentially warrant coming for like Jolteon. But everything pretty well handles Rhyperior, so a bit tough to justify bringing. Amel, I think, has a few different structures he could bring. The most standard with like the top 5 and Galarian Zapdos, he could bring like a super bulky with like Pecharunt, Porygon 2, Cresselia. I've seen like Trick Room modes with Porygon 2, Cress, Rhyperior. And I've gotten a chance to fight through a lot of these modes. Thank you to the incredible people who mocked me this week. Clyze, Chef, Pokelee, Nim, all super helpful in the mock department as well. Now going into my team and what I like about it this week. Obviously, Great Tusk is incredible here. His ground resists, you know, he has Cresselia, Gyarados, but a lot of those can be pressured by the rest of my team. And the Tera matchup is interesting. There's a few different types that I thought could be interesting. But ultimately, I think this is one of the good Tera Jolteon matchups here that we can potentially have. And so that's what I'm interested in terraing here is Jolteon. But Jolteon also doesn't really need to Tera if Rhyperior doesn't come. So I have a bit of Tera flexibility in this game. Cinderace is great here. Pyro Ball, super spammable outside of like Manaphy, Rhyperior. And obviously High Jump Kick hits a lot of the things that really stop my Pyro Ball. And then Latios is a great Scarfer here. You know, faster than Scarf Chi-Yu, slower than a booster speed Roaring Moon, but overall it's not too bad. Prim, okay here. Gonna need to come for Chi-Yu. Pretty straightforward. Jirachi, I considered it. You know, like Thunder Wave Iron Head looks pretty good, but something like a Tera Electric Chi-Yu just can come in on it infinitely. It doesn't do quite enough damage to like Cress and Pecharunt for it to be completely worthwhile. Could potentially alleviate Great Tusk from needing to run rocks. Overquill, super good, has a couple of really good entry points in Pecharunt and Cresselia, and can get up Spikes for free, and Spikes are a great way to pressure Amel's team. He has no removal, so I will be trying to spike up. And then Jolteon, obviously I mentioned Tera. One small consideration is he has Porygon 2 for Trace, which is another way to stop my electric type moves and my Volt Switches from being able to safely fire off. But I think Slitherwing's also good here in terms of like forcing prep, but he has a couple of ways to wall it between Gyarados and Pecharunt, so it's a bit risky. And then Bellossom and Dunsparce don't really have their matchups here. So going into the team that I ended up actually bringing, you can see that we started it off with this Overquill. It's a very physically defensive Overquill. It has speed for no speed Pecharunt, and that's a common theme among Overquill and Great Tusk. Those mons are like right in that range where speed for no speed Pecharunt is what we wanted to hit with that. Overquill with the Spikes, Crunch, Barb Barrage, and Pain Split. Spreading poisons via Barb Barrage is super crucial here, especially onto something like Cresselia, which is floating and will not be taking Spikes damage. And then Pain Split to stay healthy versus Cresselia and Pecharunt, which can both recover up on me, is another great tool for me here. I've got Rocky Helmet for the knockoff. I think I'll eventually take a knockoff between Roaring Moon and Tinkaton, so Helmet was a good way to get chip on those. Other item that I considered potentially Clear Amulet for Pecharunt's Parting Shot, or Choco Berry for Roaring Moon's Earthquake, but ultimately settled on Rocky Helmet. And then Intimidate was also not something that was immediately obvious as to should it be the bring or not. But I decided, you know, this is not my primary switch into Galar Zapdos, so having the Intimidate here for Roaring Moon makes things a lot easier. Up next, Jolteon, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Alluring Voice, and Tera Blast with Tera Water. Water looked like a better defensive type than Grass, not much more to it. But Volt Switch and Thunderbolt, good stab damage. Really, we want to be Volt Switching around as much as possible, especially with our Flame Orb item along with Quick Feet, gives us a way to be faster than Roaring Moon. Considered Calm Mind in the Volt Switch slot, but because we wanted the Flame Orb, things were just too slow in terms of like breaking past things, so ultimately it couldn't be afforded. And then we have Great Tusk, Headlong, Knock, Rock Spin. This will be our lead. Also Tera Water. Versus like Chi-Yus that aren't Tera Fire, we have a pretty free turn to click Rocks if we Tera, which we can afford to Tera if there's no Rhyperior. If there is Rhyperior, we have to kind of make a play. Headlong Rush is great into most of his team, other than like Cress. Cress kind of is really annoying for us. So offensive Great Tusk was a bit of a struggle here just because of how good Cress and like Gyarados, like the coverage suite that we would have needed here was so massive. But Spin, important. As you can see, I have no boots on this team because I do think I'll be able to spin off pretty well. Or his rocks will be quite pressured. So all of that means I think I can deal with it. And then knockoff, we really want to be removing boots and also like helmets off of like Cresselia and such. Prim is here for the Assault Vest Chi-Yu pivot. Really all we got to do, come in on Chi-Yu and hopefully do that twice and get it in range of one of our faster Pokemon, Jolteon or Latios. Or Cinderace if it's not Scarf, but I think Scarf was the consensus best bring here. And it can come in on Scarf that doesn't click a raw, super effective Tera Blast into it once, and live. It should be able to not get to a KO because we are max Spadef, max HP with a Sassy nature. Sassy so we can get a little bit more damage from Flip Turn and Aqua Jet, put things in range of our Scarfers / fast Pokemon. Cinderace. We decided to go Lumberry here. Between the Cresselia and the Pecharunt, Lumberry offered us a safer access. We ultimately switched from the build with Zooch, where we were Libero Taunt over Swords Dance and Low Kick over High Jump Kick, to Blaze, because the Pyro Ball fire damage is super good at +2 from the Swords Dance, and that was something that we needed to be able to lock in into those bulkier Pokemon that Emil has, like Cresselia and Pecharunt. And then lastly, Scarf Latios. You know what, you love it. Couple of small changelogs that we did. On Great Tusk in the video, we were Supercell Slam for Gyapdos, now we are Knockoff. Jolteon, we were Magnet, now we're Quick Feet. Prim, we were Gentle, now we're Sassy. Cinderace, we were Low Kick and Taunt over High Jump Kick and Swords Dance, and then Libero over Blaze, but we ultimately decided that Blaze would be a bit better on the Swords Dance variant. And then Latios, we were Psyshock over Psychic Noise, but Psychic Noise in case of not Great Tusk, Galarian Zapdos being a substitute set, we needed to poke it behind the substitute with Psychic Noise. So yeah, that is the build, and then I will see you all in the battle. Hopefully it goes well. Peace. Alright, and we are here versus Emil. He's got Electric on the Chi-Yu, Water on the P2, and this is like, I think I faced this exact comp before in one of the mocks. Lead is always going to be Tusk, and we can always just get up our rocks. He's Electric P2, so that means we can live anything, I believe, if we Tera Water. We'll live like a Specs over Heat because he's not Tera Fire. Yeah, I'm nervous for this game. Can't disappoint Zeus, but I'm also nervous because my housing lottery comes out in about 15 minutes. So, theoretically 15, maybe closer to 20. But, either way, if you see me look over there, that is probably where I am being informed if I will get a good enough number to live, or if one of my friends will be getting a good enough number to live on campus, or we're going to have to search for a home. But good luck, have fun to Emil. Whew. Let's play Pokemon. Alrighty. Yeah, game plan, get rocks, hopefully get some spikes, make it work. Zapdos. Okay, cool. We are Koba Berry. We don't necessarily have to burn it right away. But we don't necessarily need to not either. So I'm fine to just get my rocks. He just Brave Birds raw. If it's about half, it is non-boosting. That is Choice Band or Crit. Call that Choice Band. Okay. I'm just gonna sack my Tusk. Good lead on Emil's part. It's kind of what I was here to do. I don't really have a flying resist. So yeah. I will knock if he wants to try to pivot, but that was the goal. Get up rocks. His hazard stack isn't too scary here. Alright, now we can go Jolteon or Latios. I like Jolteon and being able to get a nice Volt Switch. That being said, if he stays in, no, he will die to Volt from here because of the recoil damage. So I expect P2 to come out, thinking he can trace, but I'm Quick Feet so that I can't be traced. I could have also Thunderbolted so that I could ensure getting my Flame Orb procced, but unless it's like Scarf Moon, it's not necessarily something that I need to do right away, if that makes sense. Okay. But yeah. He just lets us Volt this thing, and we kill it. Cool. Alright, 5-5. We got rocks. That's perfectly fine by me. Reset position, where do I want to be? Probably Latios. Nah, Latios lets in Moon. That's fine if we let in Moon. Yeah, because he'll see where we are and get to respond accordingly. But yeah, Latios lets in Moon, but ideally he goes Crest. Because Crest means that we are going to be able to get up some spikes. Latios literally looks like a plane in the shadow. That's crazy. I mean, like, obviously it's supposed to, but like it really looks like one in that shadow. Roaring Moon. Okay. Take rocks or boots. He is taking rocks. I'm going to assume Scarf Moon here, or like Haban. Obviously, you can't really go into, like, I guess you can at this point in the game, right? But yeah, here's our Overquill. Here's U-turn, so he'll take Helmet. It's great for us. And we don't have to worry about Defiant procs anymore because he is his Zapdos is dead. Okay. Everything is okay for now. Hopefully he's not like boot spamming on this team. That was like something that could... Okay, so the Chi-Yu comes in. Are we going to see Boots Chi-Yu? We do not. I am assuming your Scarf. Beads of Ruin, obviously. But yeah, I'm just going to go into my Prim. You do have a pretty free Electric Terra Blast. Not much I can do about that. If your Specs, oh well. He has like such a weird defensive backbone that made me like kind of need to bring a relatively offensive team, but then like also this combination of like such strong offensive pieces in the Chi-Yu and the Gyapdos. So kind of an interesting one here, but you know, hopefully he pussies out, but there's no reason to not click the electric button. Yeah. He just Ruinations, though. That's fine. I can flip turn now. Obviously, like, you Ruination... Maybe he's planning on tearing the P2, huh? Yeah, I can just flip turn, though. You go, like, Crest, and I can get some spikes. Terra P2 is fine for me, though. It's... That's, like... Because now I have Terra Water for my Jolteon, which makes things a little bit better. If he does decide to be like Terra P2. But yeah, I also want to start spreading potential poisons with the Overquill. T-Spike would have been great here, but he had like a Pecharunt, so it was like very much in the realm of, you know, didn't need to bring that. Okay, he does just Terra here into his Terra Electric. So now P2 is going to be stuck with a normal type for the rest of the game. A-okay by me. As he does just elect to click the Terra Blast. And we live, just barely, but we live. As that flip turn boosted by Torrent. We still have a Torrent Aqua Jet in the back if we need it. His fish is now at 50. Makes things a lot easier. Cinderace's Pyro Ball is pretty free here. We know that you're not Boots, and you're also not Choiced. I also have Latios here, right? But, I guess Draco means that Crest comes out. And then he theoretically could, like, double into this fish. But I just sack my Prim, right? But yeah, Draco otherwise is pretty free. It leads to a sequence where I can get spikes easier. Yeah. I can just Draco. Trick is also very useful later in the game. I could have raw tricked there. Maybe I should have, but like if Crest comes out, it'll be a definitely should have. But yeah, Crest. But Okay. He also has, like, Lunar Dance potential with this thing. That did a good chunk. He's probably more physically defensive. I'm just going to go into my Overcoat. Attempt to get some spikes or maybe Barb Barrage. I don't know what's better here. Or Crunch even. Because, like, hard to say. I think spikes. For, like, the P2, for the Moon. Both important pieces to get spiked on. Probably just Moonlights here. Or doubles. But then, like, Latios becomes a lot better. I also do need to get my Jolteon's Flame Orb active. I really do think that Roaring Moon is scarfed. He does Lunar Dance. Okay. So, yeah, this is what we were afraid of, right? As now... Yeah. This is fine. Ish. Give or take. Chi-Yu comes out, sack Prim. At 88, Cinderace's Pyro Ball. I don't know if he Oko's Cinderace. But yeah, he uses a pretty free Electric Blast. I know it lives Latios Draco, where it was at. Or where it will be at. So... Maybe Cinder was better just because of that Lunar Dance. Oh, he goes Manaphy first? That's fine. I assume you're attempting to do some take part shenanigans. I can go hard Jolteon on it once. That was the goal. And maybe I have to sack Prim, Beta Trick until Trick with my Latios. Yeah, he does take heart once. I think this is where I have to burn Trick. Yeah. I feel like you have to Energy Ball here. I feel like there's no world in which you can safely Ice Beam. Just because I am showing Tera Water. I don't necessarily need to click it yet. He does Protect. Okay. So he's Take Heart. I guess that makes sense because I have Slither. Take Heart, Protect, Water, Ice. Yeah. Okay. I will Tera here. There's no real reason not to. This point, yeah. And this should do about like 45, I think. Maybe T-bolting there was the play. Thinking about it, but maybe T-bolt was the play. Yeah, it was like 30. I feel like there's no way you Ice Beam here. Ugh. But if you do... Yeah, I don't think there's a world in which Ice Beam was ever the click there. I feel like it's just clicking another Take Heart. Alluring Void. Oh, I forgot about that option. Okay, we don't die, though. That was a good mid-ground bring for Amel. I'll attempt to Trick. Probably get protected on. I'll attempt it again. I think... I can attempt to sack Prim here, actually. He's ready to let it... Because if he's tricked into Alluring Voice, that's a Cinderace setup opportunity. Yeah. I'll do it again. Like, what? He's gonna give his Chi-Yu, like, its own, like, scarf back? Saying that now. Kind of bad if I give Chi-Yu a scarf. Maybe that's a throw. Yeah. No, I should have swapped to Prim. Clicked too fast. Clicked too fast. Oh, he lets the trick happen. That's fine. We'll get a serving of lefties. Doesn't really matter. Oh, he scalds. So now he is locked into Scald. I just go into my Prim. And then I can start attacking shit with Jolteon. We'll be faster. It'll be great. We don't even die. I think there's no real reason for me to, like, waste a jet. So, yeah. Also, he does have a Healing Wish in the air. Still. So that's something to keep in mind. He's locked into Scald. I can just go Jolteon. Yeah. So I do think this is a turn where... see, because if I Volt into the Chi-Yu, that's good for me. But if I Volt on a Scald, I guess I can go into Latios and try again. I think you switch into Chi-Yu, though. Fuck. Playing too aggro. Okay. That's fine. Because, like, we still have the Cinderace endgame, potentially. Yeah. Go into my Latios. At this point, it's hard to say what I should have done there. Maybe I should have... ooh, maybe we live one. That was 100 down to 43. 63. It'll be a roll. I will Draco. If I live, I live. I do not. Okay, that's fine. Uh-huh. Okay. It's just gonna be tight. I did not play that well. I really thought that... I'm playing too, like, sheepish around that Chi-Yu right now. Okay, he lives. I guess, yeah. Now I can just Volt. And... get a fast Volt into Cinderace. Apply pressure that way. Because he's got Roaring Moon, which I have an Overquill for, to come in on. He's got the Fish, which I think is what he's going to have to go into to get it Healing Wished up. And he's got Roaring Moon, Fish, and P2. Okay, P2 comes out. I have a Lumberry. He takes rocks, downloads an attack boost. Fantastic. I think this is a Swords Dance opportunity. He Trick Rooms. Could get dicey with the Fish, but I have Overquill, which should underspeed it. He still has the Lunar Dance in the air. Something to keep in mind. Yeah. Get the Swords Dance off. He could click like Thunder Wave. I have a Lumberry. He agilities with the Porygon. Interesting. Interesting. So he's probably not the most bulky thing in the world. So I can just High Jump Kick. Please hit. He can't Tera into ground, obviously, because he used the Tera on the Chi-Yu already. Yeah, I just gotta hit this. I should live a hit if this thing wants to, like, attack. Tera Blast. Yeah, but you're not Tera'd into ground. Okay, we do live. Not quite Blaze range, but HJK. Pick up the kill. Perfect. Yeah. I guess Chi-Yu comes out, probably. Roaring Moon. It's fine. Oh yeah, because Chi-Yu's not Scarf. It takes the dance. That's fine. I just go into my Overquill at this point. Or... what was Chi? Chi was at like 50. So I don't know if Jolteon kills it in one. Yeah, I just go into my Overquill, get the Intim off, and Jolteon plus Cinderace should be fine for this endgame. Because the thing didn't catch a Healing Wish. Whew. A lot of these last minute changes that I made with Zooch have been the most clutch for this game. Didn't get any spikes up, which, you know, that was central to the whole game plan, but Amel played in a way where my Overquill was constantly threatened when it could have came in, and he really limited its potential opportunities to come in. He just Earthquakes, fine, doesn't do even half. I just Barb Barrage, or I can Pain Split, but Barb Barrage covers Chi-Yu. I just need this thing in Alluring Voice range, which it should be. Barb Barrage doesn't cover Chi-Yu any better than, like, it does more damage to the moon. Crunch, like, sure, I think it's still fine to do that, because then he takes rocks again. I just need to get any amount of damage off on this thing, and Alluring Voice should kill it. I'm assuming that you're Scarf. Maybe that was an unsafe assumption, but based on the fact that you clicked Earthquake, okay. Roaring Moon switches into Chi-Yu. After rocks. I just can't let this thing, like, click potentially, like, Flame Charge if this Barb Barrage does not happen to kill. It's not poison? Poison. Goated Overquill. God Overquill. Yeah. If this thing is a Dragon Dance Roaring Moon, maybe I'm fucked, but I think you're choiced based on the way that it's been played all game. And you need to set up twice with Dragon Dance. I think he was just having to reset Intimidate there. I just Barb Barrage. Yeah, I think I just spam Barb Barrage. Try to get any, like, poison would be awesome. He just Earthquakes, though. We live. God Overquill. That should be Alluring Voice range. Perfect. Fantastic. Crazy. Crazy game. It is currently 2:22. My phone is not blown up, so I am assuming nothing's happened yet in terms of my housing. So now I can stress about that for the rest of the day. Fantastic. But at least I'm not going to say anything until I click the Alluring Voice and get the kill. But seems like we're good. Alluring Voice, no Roselli. Fantastic. Okay, we win. We're 2-0 in the BBR. Shout out Zooch for the prep. Incredible help this week. And yeah, shout out Bash, Jolteon, obviously. Shout out Clyze, Chef, Nim, Pogili for the mocks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Subscribe, like, comment, the whole shebang, and I'll see you next time. Peace.